What's up, guys, and welcome to BitCast episode 105 for the week of November 20th, 2022. I'm your host, Jake Martin. On the show this week, we have my brother once again, the Ogre King himself, Brock Martin.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. Glad to have you back again. We've got some of your mic issues sorted out, but I still think there's some stuff we're trying to figure out.
We'll see how it goes.
You sound good right
fans, now. He's hearing fans. Last time I was sick and I could hear myself sniffing my nose the whole time. So we'll see if this one's better.
You sound great. Okay. So if you guys are joining today, exciting news. We're discussing what we've been playing, obviously. And then God of War Ragnarök. We are going to be just kind of giving our general impressions right now. We're not going to spoil anything for you guys because the game just came out, but we're just going to talk generally about what we think of the game, and at the very end give you an idea of what if we think this is going to compete for Game of the Year with other releases this year. So stay tuned for that. But a little bit of housekeeping. Check our polls on Spotify. We have some fun polls we'll put up there every now and then, and leave reviews. You can write into us or write in questions at bitcast@bitbloggist.com. It's greatly appreciated, so please do that. And if you have played Ragnarök, I'll ask again at the end of the podcast, but let us know what your thoughts are. We'd love to know. So, Brock, jumping into the next topic, I got to know, man, what have you been playing?
Well, as the theme is God of War Ragnarök, that's mainly what I've been playing. I think I'm about 42 hours in or something. But other than that, I've been playing. The new Warzone just dropped. So, I should say trying to play. It's still real glitchy. So they just redid it. And now it's all Modern Warfare 3 themed. So it's, the graphics are better. It's a little bit smoother.
Wait, you mean Modern Warfare 2, right?
Oh yeah, 2. Yeah.
Okay,
but they they released a new Warzone, so they got rid of the old one. Now it's Warzone 2.0.
I see.
And so now it's a little glitchy, different mechanics. But when I played the first day it came out, in the lobbies, it wouldn't get full. So and we were playing with 20-person lobbies, which I don't know why. On the first day, you would think it would be packed, but
I guess they were limiting it just to make sure it wasn't going nuts and servers were crashing. So, I forgot to ask you, Brock, what are you sipping on there? Is that some mead you said?
Oh yeah, sipping on some mead.
I don't actually believe you. Is it actually mead?
Style of the Asgardians. It's not actually mead. It's some Jackie-O's winter beer. I don't remember what it was called.
Oh, very nice.
Something from Jackie-O's.
I'm sipping on water right now. So
nice. Yeah,
I haven't played Warzone in a while, but from what I remember last time, I just remember I didn't have any patience to be able to try and survive a whole game and then just die. And I'm like, okay, well, that's the whole game. Do it over and over and over again. I don't know if it's the battle royale or if it's just I'm just bad at those games in general. But I just feel like I wouldn't see anybody. And then the minute that I did, I would be dead. I'm like, cool, I died. I lost.
Yeah. It's definitely more fun if you play with a squad that's decent. Did you do you like any of the Battle Royale games? Did you play Apex Legends, Fortnite?
I liked Apex the most. Because that one was the most boots on the ground. Well, I guess Warzone's kind of close to it as well. But really just I just suck, man. I
feel like Apex was the easiest to survive a long time in.
Yes.
Versus Call of Duty. I mean, you can just get sniped one shot from a mountain, and then all of a sudden,
that's the game. Okay, I'm in the gulag. Oh, I lost in the gulag. Okay, I'm dead. Yeah. I mean, so that's why I've always liked regular Call of Duty a bit more, because I can just die a million times and just keep running back into battle, and I'm learning the map at the same time. I think that's part of it too, is that any Call of Duty game, you have to have a certain level of familiarity with the maps to be good, and those maps are so huge in Warzone that I'm just I don't even know where I am right now. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what this building is that I'm in, how many floors there are, and then I just die, so that's kind of hard. I don't know. Do you feel that way about Warzone, or you have a squad that's pretty good?
Yeah, right now I do, because it just came out, so I don't know any of the buildings. You just run randomly into things. You're let's see what's here. But I mean, if you play it a couple times a week, every week for a year, then you'll slowly learn the map. So
that's true. It just takes time. It just takes time.
Oh yeah. it got to the end of the last one where me and my buddy just started doing bomber runs and attack plane runs. So they had bombers in the previous Warzone that you could pick up and fly around. Someone can operate the gunner, another person can drop bombs. So
interesting. I'll have to check that out. I'll have to check out Warzone.
It's like a crappy version of Battlefront. Or I didn't play Squadrons, but have you played that?
Yeah. I played something like that. Wait,
Okay.
Which one? Battlefront 2 or what are you talking? You talking about
both
Battlefield or Battlefront?
No, both of the Battlefront. I mean, Battlefield has it too, I guess, but both the Battlefronts have, to me, that's like one of the funnest, like flying battle games that I've ever played is Star Wars. But then you got, there's some other one that came out called Squadrons, but I never played it. So I don't know.
Yes.
There's a Star Wars Squadrons game.
Full on flying. Yeah. I knew you were talking about that. Yeah.
So
it was free on PS Plus. I need to check that one out actually. But you're playing that in God of War. Nice. So for me, I'm on the same boat.
What you? Yeah.
God of War. And I just picked up Pokemon Violet, forgive me. So I'm playing that over Thanksgiving break. I just picked my Pokemon. I got Fuecoco, the little fire guy, little fire dragon. So we'll see how it is, but
see what Fuecoco looks like. I don't know any of the new Pokemon, so I haven't played a Pokemon. The last Pokemon I played, I think, was probably the last one I played all the way through was the Ruby Sapphire version.
Yeah, so
since then.
Yeah, so this is, I mean, I've played almost every single Fuecoco. Fuecoco.
It's another Spanish.
Yes, that's actually like it's kind of based on that origin. It's over like that area. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it is. It looks like garbage. That's what everyone's been saying about it. It just looks like doo doo. Really? Runs like doo doo. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm excited to jump in and play some Pokemon.
Looks just like a reskinned version of what's the one that used to have the bone helmet.
The bone helmet. Oh, Cubone.
Oh, that's what it looks like. A little red Cubone.
Who had a little bone helmet? That's a perfect way of describing it. Little bone helmet.
Yeah.
All right, so let's switch on over to the old God of War Ragnarok. So when did you pick it up? When did you get God of War?
I bought it on release day.
Okay.
Or maybe the release day after release. I don't remember. One of the days.
Yeah. Were you planning on picking this up, or was it just like I'll buy it?
Oh, I was planning on it, but then I actually forgot about it, and then I remembered either the day it came out, someone texted me about it, and I was like, oh, I forgot. So,
Sweet,
but I don't have a PS5 though, so I bought it on the PS4, and let me tell you that it runs and it still looks good, but the PS4 is loud. It's running that fan at max speed to try to keep up with this game. Yeah. So,
boy. Okay. Well, okay.
Yeah, boy.
Atreus. Okay, so you played God of War 2018. What are your general thoughts on that game?
I loved it, man. I platinumed that game. The only thing I didn't do in it, because I was borrowing it from a friend, so I didn't actually buy it. So I beat the whole game, I think, in 2 or 3 days. I stayed up all night and played it.
Gosh.
So, yeah, I think I played it over 30 hours straight on the first day, the first one.
That was impressive.
And then I got everything platinum did. The only thing I didn't do is I did not beat the Valkyrie Queen.
Oh, okay.
So
you can platinum it without beating the Valkyrie Queen?
Thought so.
Maybe not.
Maybe I didn't platinum it then.
Well, if you platinum, I believe you. But
I did it. I have to check now. I did everything except for beat the Valkyrie Queen. So
okay. So yeah, I'm like you. I loved it. I thought it was great. It was a great reinvention of the original God of War games, which you had played a few of those too. I remember you had some of them on PS3 and PS2. So I think like from a gameplay perspective, this one, the original God of War 2018, really like brought it to a modern standard, and it was just really fun. The combat was great. The story was pretty solid. And of course, it looked great. And I beat all the Valkyries. I did the Valkyrie quest and beat the Queen and stuff like that. But I did not platinum it. I thought about it, but I just started getting to the point where I just had to like revisit a whole bunch of places and go pick up stuff. And I was just like, I don't want to do that. So I ended up dropping it, but I put at least 40 plus hours in that game too. So
yeah, I think I've played every God of War, including Chains of Olympus, which was the PSP one.
Nice.
So yeah, nice. I think I've played every single one.
Calliope.
They're all good. I love them. God of War 3, good. I mean, I don't know. 3 was probably my favorite for the pre-series.
Okay.
But they're all good. I mean, yeah, obviously graphics are way better than new ones, but
yeah. Well,
still.
And the original ones, it was more like full on action based, where this one's a bit more puzzle and story. Like there were some puzzles in the other ones too, but those ones were like kind of Shadow of the Colossus level ideas where you're fighting on the back of giants and like doing all these crazy moves. So this one's a little bit more toned down.
So there was puzzles in the old ones too. The first one, probably not as much. The third one, the third one's very similar play style to the 2018 and Ragnarok or whatever, the first God of War.
Just a different perspective, just a little bit less.
Yeah. I mean, so the old ones are all Greek. This is all Norse.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, was the last one Norse too? Was 2018 Norse mythology as well? Yeah, because I guess.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. Cool. So, how many hours? You said you were in about 40 something hours into God of War Ragnarok.
Yeah, I think I'm like 42 in. I probably, if so, I will say I think you can beat it in around that time frame. So if I had just cranked through main story, I think I would be done. I think I'm close to done based on what's happened so far. And where I'm at, but I'm pretty sure if I had just played main story, I could be done. Okay. But in the beginning, I was like very, very exploratory on every single side passage, every single quest. Let's get every single treasure chest, all puzzles, everything I could get. So
right, yeah. That's what I've heard. I think like it's 33 hours around there for like main storyline. If you just want to beeline straight through, like 30 something hours. But if you wanted to do extras, it's closer to like 40 probably for most people. So yeah, I'm definitely one that likes to look for all the chests and try to find whatever I can when I'm there. I'm sure I've missed some. And there's some stuff I've seen where it's like, oh, we have to have something else to get that. So like, I mean, I'll have to come back later with something else, I'm sure. But I think I'm like about maybe 10 hours in, so I'm not super far. I feel like I've experienced enough to know where the game is going and like the new gameplay elements they've added, at least like to some extent. I'm not going to spoil it, but yeah, there's some cool stuff that they've done in this game where initially, I don't know if you felt this way or not, but like when I was first playing, I was like, this is God of War 2018. Like it's the exact same game almost. But then I think shortly after something happens and I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like this is a little bit different. And I like that they added this mechanic to the game. So I think it's definitely different enough. There's certainly the same trappings, puzzles, and all that stuff around there. But for the most part, I feel like it's at least different enough from the original one.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of the same mechanics and the storyline picks up right after the last one. So
there's no delay.
Yeah.
So real quick, you're playing on PS4. How is that? You said it was just like, it looks really good. There's not much. I mean, do you have like waiting? You don't have any loading screens either, do you?
Yeah. There's like a little bit of a loading screen, but it's only after you die.
Okay. Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it's just, but I think that's normal for any console or any system. I don't know.
How long are you spending in whatchamacallit?
The tree.
Yggdrasil before the door shows up?
I don't know, probably 30 seconds.
Okay, that's not too bad. Okay, then yeah, I mean
45 seconds.
I'd say comparatively, it's pretty well developed for a PS4 game then.
Yeah, and I mean I am playing PS4. I'm playing it on. I mean I know it's not 4K, but it does like the HDR like markup or whatever. Because I'm playing on a 4K TV. Okay, so nice. I think that does help a little bit because when I was playing on the other TV, it looks a little bit worse, but I played it on both because I had it on a small TV and on the big one. But
gotcha. Still looks pretty good. Nice.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you said, do you think? All right, well, you platinum the last one. Do you think you're going to try and platinum this one as well?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So the most recent debate I had in my head was like, I just made the decision, like, okay, I want to go and beat the game and then go do all the extra content, because I was trying to do all the extra content as I was playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized I'm going to be sad because I'm going to beat it and then I'm going to have everything done except for maybe like a few little things. So I was like, okay, I need to stretch this out. So maybe I'll beat the game first and then go back and get the extra stuff.
Nice.
So
there you go, bro.
I was spending a lot of time like going, like I said, through every passage, through everything. And no matter what, they have mechanics. I think the last one had this too, where you have to like beat something later in the game and then go back to an area to get an item. So
that's classic, game development 101. Show them something that looks weird and they're like, I keep seeing these little steam vents everywhere. What am I supposed to do with that? And then eventually you'll find something that tells you what you're supposed to do with it. So
you'll find the steam vents later.
I found them. I'm like, what's going on with these guys? All right, so I wanted to start us off with what we liked least about Ragnarok. So I'll go first on this one. But like, I feel like areas are so congested. Like, it's just like there's a mining place you kind of go to, and when you're in there, there's just so much going on. Which is great. Like the world building and design is excellent to that degree. But I actually had to turn on the color assist. I don't know if you've looked in the accessibility settings or not, but you can actually like make things highlight different colors based on what you want to see. Because I get into puzzles sometimes and I'm like, I don't even know what this is asking me to do, because there's just so much in this room right now. I'm like, okay, I can like throw my axe at this thing. I can freeze the water. And then there's like this other part over here that I guess I'm supposed to do something with. And sometimes it's not clear like what you're even supposed to interact with. And so I was like, I'm going to turn this on and just kind of see. And I've actually just left it on. It's just nice because it just highlights the things that are yellow. And the puzzles are still hard, but it's easier to tell what I'm supposed to even like interact with in a giant room, because there's just so much going on.
Oh, you're ruining it. Why would you do that? I didn't even know that was an option. No, most of the things you can find pretty easily, I thought. I mean, there's like one or two times where I got stuck, but to that, they give you like the hints on the puzzle. Like the characters will yell things out as you're doing it. And I will say, like, if you're saying least favorite things, that's probably one of my least, is that they yell it out within like 3 seconds. So
yes.
You're doing like, oh, why don't you throw your axe at that thing over there? Throw your axe at the gear. And I'm like, all right, Brock, all right, Atreus.
What's that up there? What's that up there, dude? Yeah. I was in a puzzle this yesterday, and again, I had the things highlighted even still, and what had happened is there's these little discs that you can like throw your axe at to like break, and they're usually like pretty clearly seen, but they were on the back of this like statue, and I broke one half, and there was another half, but it was just gone. Like the disc that was supposed to be in that back to break the other half of it was just gone, and I couldn't actually break the other side of it, and so they kept just going, "What's up there? Look up there. What's that right there? What's that right there?" And I'm like, I am going to lose it. So I restarted the section, like the checkpoint, and then it worked in like 2 seconds. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I just spent like 15 minutes looking at this statue. Like, what are they talking about? So in that regard, not great. It was a small bug that I experienced, but we got it. We're all set. And then I was going to say, I don't know. How do you feel about the upgrade menu? Does that make sense to you? Like, do you feel like it's pretty intuitive?
I like it. Yeah, I like it.
I have a hard time with it still.
So
maybe
in the first 5 to 10 hours, I was struggling a little bit, but just wait. It
clears up. Okay.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I mean, like the way I'm looking at it right now, it's just like super. Like there's a menu within a menu within a menu every single time. So you're like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yep.
so I got my axe here, and then I can go into my axe, and I can upgrade my axe. But I can also upgrade the handles on my axe, and I can also upgrade the skills that my axe is able to use. Oh, and I can also upgrade the skills that Kratos can use specifically. Like there's so many layers of upgrades that you are just handed at once, and you're like,
Yeah.
what?
There's a dual. I don't know if you've gotten this far yet, but there's a dual leveling system to every skill.
Oh yes, I got that as well. So if you use a skill enough, you can then add something to it to make it even better. And I'm just like, dude, it's great. I love it, and it's a good incentive system for those skills. I actually like that they say, hey, if you use this enough, you can make it better and attach one of these things to it. But yeah, just from like a gear standpoint, and then the armor is the same way. I mean, like okay, you want to use this armor? Well, okay, if you have the hip part and the arm part attached here, you actually get this stat bonus. But then you can also upgrade each of these parts individually. And like, I know
they added very basics of like MMOs.
Yeah. Well, do they have the slots, like the different like the different? Okay, though that comes later.
I mean, like in any. Oh wait, what do you mean different slots?
I haven't even gotten there yet. Like the gems, like in the first game, 2018, there were like little like runes or like whatever you could like attach to your weapons and stuff to make them do like different things.
No.
Okay, cool.
They have skills. Then they have. Have you gotten a skill that you can do where it's like with the axe to do like L1 L1 or L1 R1?
Yeah.
And then so a light combo and a heavy combo.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Then yeah, they don't have the runes in this one, but they have like all the skill tree. They have perks from your armor. Then you can level up, like you said, hilts and everything like that. So the axe handles. But yeah, no gems that I've seen.
Okay. So that's good. They at least stopped there because I was like, dude, if they add gems to this, like there's way too many things.
Yeah, because they took. Well, that's what I like too on the armor sets. Is they took. That's like what a lot of MMO games or like Diablo does. Oh, here, get this whole set, then you get this extra bonus perk. If you have 3 items, you get this. If you have 4 items, you get this. So it's a much easier version of that. So
okay. So as long as it stops there, then we're good. Because that's what I was worried about.
Yeah, the only thing too that's super confusing, but to me, it's like I don't know. It's like any God of War game if you just play it enough. So the whole game incentivizes exploring and like walking to each edge.
Oh yeah,
because a lot of the puzzles and stuff that you'll see, the key to the puzzle is like a different point of view. So walk to an edge and then just look around, or like always look up too. Anytime you're walking down past, look up because there's usually stuff hidden in the air. But yeah.
I get like dizzy sometimes because I'm like looking all over the place. I'm like flicking my camera around, like looking at stuff. And I do love how in this game they kind of make a joke about that a few times. They're like, you go off while the main objective is clearly one way. And, your party members are like, where are you going? And then Atreus is like, oh, he just does this sometimes.
Yeah, they do have a lot of good puns about like treasure hunting. Like, haven't you gotten enough treasure boxes yet? And things like that.
Yeah, so it's clever in that way. So, all right, but then I guess moving on from that. So, what do you like most? Like, what is new in this game that you've been like, oh, cool, that's a nice addition, or a nice change, I guess.
I like so. There's a lot of like sub enemy bosses, and I'm trying to remember the last one. But as you keep going, there's a lot of things like the Valkyries from the last one.
Yeah.
But there's like sub variations of that. So you'll see as you go through. You probably haven't gotten to any of those yet if you're only 10 hours in. But
yeah, I feel like there's already been good variety though. Like I feel like in 2018 it was fighting the same version of that troll, just like a little bit of like a different element attached to it or something like that. And right now, yeah, it's been a whole bunch of different people that I've fought already. So I think
you'll
in that
keep
regard, it's good.
I mean, I think I'm almost at the end, and you still get new enemies.
Cool.
And then as you get towards what I liked, my favorite part probably actually about the whole game, what they've done is they made the like exploring areas way bigger. and there's way more of them. So each realm you go to, there's going to be like huge exploration areas.
Okay, cool.
So yeah.
Yeah,
because the last one was kind of like more linear, which most of the God of War games are pretty linear. But that would be like my gripe about the last one, is that it was pretty linear versus this one. There was like the one open area in the last one, like the Lake of the Nine or whatever.
The snake area. The snake.
Slippery snake.
Yeah.
But excuse me. But there's really big open areas in this one, and they're in every realm, so it's nice.
Cool. Yeah, I definitely want to check that out, or at least check out like the bigger areas, because right now all I've done is like kind of beeline again, and I haven't been able to go back. But I've looked at the maps and I've noticed there's a lot of other stuff on the edges that I haven't even touched yet. I'm like, okay, cool. There's some more to do here. There's some more to do.
Oh yeah, if you want to see too, if you're just curious, like size wise, if you go into the map, it'll tell you like what percentage you've completed a realm, and so you'll see early in the game it's like 5%, 10%. And even though you're like, I feel like I've ran around this island for hours,
been here for days.
10%. Yeah. So,
me personally, I think the combat's a great improvement. I mean, the combat was really good in 2018, but even here, again, like what I was just saying, I love that they added the ability to level up the different abilities that you have, or the skills that you unlock or pay for with the experience you're earning. And so, when you first start out, you don't have many combos, but as you kind of move through it, you're adding new tools to your weapons or new kits, essentially, and you're extending combos. Or if you hold down R1, you can fling like a wave of ice at people that like kind of hits them multiple times, and you can like run into them again and start another combo. So I've enjoyed finding like cool ways to keep combo strings going, and even like switching between weapons as well. So like having the Blades of Chaos as well. There's a way that they both interact, where if you've frozen an enemy and then you use the Blades of Chaos, and like those have fire, it does more damage to them, and vice versa. So you can kind of switch back and forth, and they want you to do that. So I think it's cool. I think it's well done. I think the storyline's pretty solid so far. I like where it's going. And then I think again, I can't say much without spoiling this, but what they've done to kind of differentiate itself from 2018 is really cool too. So I think any of those folks who are like, it's kind of just the same, like, give it a few hours and you'll see how, combat changes up, and there's some cool stuff you get to do.
I couldn't remember in the old one, could you upgrade Atreus?
Yeah, but it wasn't like it wasn't like very much. It was just kind of his basic.
Okay.
Like,
in this one, you can upgrade a lot more, and there's other characters that play with you as well.
Mm-hmm.
I won't say anything else besides that, but you play with other characters.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to that. I think, it's hard not to like spoil much more, but it's they do enough to make it feel different, and you're not stuck only just kind of doing the same thing in 2018. So that's all I can say. It's hard to talk about without like it's not a huge secret, but I think it's worth saving. So I guess if you had to score it right now, well, is there anything else I guess you would want to say now 42 hours in, like anything else that you're like, oh, this is cool that that they've added? Or
the storyline's good. Really, it's flowed pretty well the whole game. There's been a couple, there's like one or two times late game where the story just kind of like cuts.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's done intentionally, I think, for you to go play side content.
Yeah,
but it feels a little bit off, but that's like the only thing. But otherwise, I mean, yeah, I love everything about it. Clearly, I haven't stopped playing it, so I think it's like, what time? When did it come out? This week,
the 9th. So like almost 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks. Okay, cool. So it's not that crazy that I've put in 40 hours, so 20 hours a week for 2 weeks.
Yeah, still impressive. But yeah, you could do it. I believe in you.
Yeah.
So if you had to score it right now, what would you give it?
Ooh, I'd give it a 9.
Yeah. What's keeping it from a 10, a perfect 10?
I don't know, it'd probably be up there because I mean, like, it's just because I played the other one, right? The remake in 2018 obviously captivated me. I mean, I played it all night long. Like, I didn't sleep, so I played it for 32 hours straight. So I think it's just the only thing that's keeping it. Yeah, not 32. It was like probably like 28 to 30 straight.
Oh my gosh, straight?
Yeah.
How are you alive?
I just stayed up all night. So I mean, I don't know. When I got home from work on a Friday, I played from 5 or 6 p.m. and then played until the next night at like 9 p.m. or something, 8 p.m. I don't know.
Your poor eyeballs. That's insane.
So I mean, probably the only thing keeping it from a 10 for me is just that because it's not the first time, So it's a lot. It loses a little bit of the new appeal because I played the last one, but that's it. Otherwise, I like it a lot.
I think I'm in the same boat too. Like, I'm really impressed with what I've played, and I think it iterates on itself well enough to be a 9. But yeah, it's just short of 10, and I think for the same reasons. I've already experienced this game, and it's not like so drastically different that I'm like, oh yeah, this is like another. Like, wow, totally surprised me. I'm just like, yep, this is God of War. Like, this is the new God of War. Yep. This the puzzles they're there. Yeah. Do you think there's also a lot of puzzles? Like, I don't. It's weird to have these two balanced together, but it's strange that you're like you're a God of War who can you're cutting creatures in half and like hacking limbs off and stuff, and you're like, hey, I'm gonna go solve this puzzle real quick.
Oh yeah, think about. I mean, some of the old games, you're literally like jumping off of mountains and fighting titans and catching lightning bolts, and you're like, hold on, I gotta make sure that I don't just jump over this wall. Why would I not just jump over the wall? I have to figure out a gear to open the wall.
Yeah. Let me go check out this puzzle real quick. I mean, that's every video game to some extent, It's like the end of the world. Ragnarok is coming, and it's like, hold on, though. I got to go check out this chest real quick.
They do a really good job in the game of that, too. Yeah. They'll like constantly make cracks at you. The characters will like, all right, are you done messing around? The end of the world's at stake or something.
Oh, they actually say that. That's great. That's great.
Yeah, I don't know if they say the end of the world, but they say things of that same vein.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm glad they have the same sense of humor then. That's great.
It's good comedy. Yeah.
All right, and then the last question here: do you think that this game has the potential to win Game of the Year? I don't know if you saw the Game Awards nominees, but God of War is on there.
No, what else is on there? Elden
Ring. Let me just see real quick. I'll look at BitBloggist.com actually. Let me see BitBloggist Game Awards.
Give it to one, right? I mean, it's probably going to be Elden Ring.
Yeah. So the nominees for Game of the Year are A Plague Tale: Requiem, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Yeah,
dude, it's going to be Elden Ring.
I think so too. I think in a year where Go ahead. Sorry, I was cutting you off.
Well, I was gonna say, it's one of the most massively played games. Plus, like something God of War has going against it is it's not cross-platform.
Mm-hmm.
So
true, not cross-plat, and it's not. It's the sequel. Elden Ring's first of its kind, and it just blew up onto the scene. I mean, people that weren't even considering Elden Ring, but didn't like Dark Souls, didn't like Bloodborne, didn't like anything, were like, oh yeah, I'll try Elden Ring out, and like it just took over the world. And I think it just did something new. Like it did open world Demon Souls on a level that no one had ever even expected. They were like, oh wow, this is actually like really well done. This is really good. So yeah, I think God of War again. Excellent game. And still maybe from a story standpoint, maybe it wins over people's hearts, but I think Elden Ring is probably going to be the GOTY this year.
Story in Elden Ring sucks. I mean, I don't even, not sucks, but like I can't follow it. I don't know what's happening. Right. I know that, wait, can I say spoilers about Elden Ring on here?
Yeah, no? It's been many months.
Yeah. I mean, some chick has some fire and we got to burn a tree and kill some people. And
yeah, that's the story. Yeah. George R.R. Martin helped with that one. So, but that's what everyone has been saying about
all the fingers.
That's what everyone's been saying about Elden Ring is like, it doesn't have a story. And it's like, there's people that are like, no, it actually has a really good story if you actually follow the lore and try to read into all this stuff. And it's like, people don't have the patience to do that, I don't think.
That's why God of War is better. It forces you to watch the story in a movie format on the game screen. Like, oh, here's my movie cutscene. Okay, cool.
This is what's happening. Great, I love this. Yeah. All right. Well, cool. Those are our brief impressions, guys, of God of War. Like I said, quick and easy podcast. We both love it, obviously. So let us know what you think of God of War. We'd love to hear. Write in again to us at bitcast@bitblogust.com. But unfortunately, y'all, that is the end of our podcast. Brock, thanks so much for being on the show, man.
Thanks for having me, buddy.
Yeah, dude. I mean, this was round 2 for you. How did it compare to your last podcast?
Well, better because I wasn't sick. So the first one, I was like sniffling and like, yeah, just chugging tea the whole time.
hey, it happens to us, man. We powered through. We did it. Yeah. So real quick, anywhere people can find you? Any plugs you got for us?
Either Ogre King or Frigid Iguana. You'll see those names floating around games. So if you see and actually on Xbox, it's Ogre Kling, technically. KLNG, because the I was already taken for Ogre King. So.
Can't believe the name Ogre King was taken. What a shame. We got to find that guy, hunt him down, say, hey man, give us that name back.
Yep.
All right. Well, so be sure to go to bitblogust.com to see any more recent posts. Again, we have one coming up pretty soon about what it's like to be a gaming parent. That'll be a fun one I'm writing about. So check that out. And check out our other socials, BitBlogust on Twitch, Discord, social channels. Now on Hive Social, that's a new one. I tried Mastodon, that was garbage. Don't do Mastodon. That doesn't make any sense because Twitter's going down, Brock, as you know. So
never even heard of Mastodon. So
it's not great. But until next time, y'all, this has been BitCast. Thanks for tuning in to talk about some stuff.
Goodbye, Atreus.